Hello, world, and welcome to the Building Communities event. I am super excited today to be sharing the stage with Kamara from Travel with Love. Kamara is a fellow travel and lifestyle content creator and founder of Travel with Love. Would you like to say hello before we get started?
Hey everybody, how are y'all?
Okay, so let's talk about what brought us here today. Kamara has built a travel community of over 101,000 members, and she is going to teach us how to build our own community of travel loving enthusiasts. Before we get into the good stuff, I would love to share more about myself and Kamara. Uh-oh.
This is such a cute slide.
Yes, I loved it. Okay, so a little bit about me. I'm Shanay Braxton, a travel and lifestyle content creator and founder of Business and Travel. Business and Travel offers business support, accountability, and networking to enhance the operations of travel and lifestyle content creators to maintain profitable and meaningful companies that improve the quality of travel experiences through travel content creation. And the images that I'm sharing are images from my club, the Business and Travel Club, and then Kamara's club, Travel with Love Community. Kamara Love is a 26-year-old travel and lifestyle content creator for her business, Travel with Love. She has successfulully built her travel community up to 101,000 members, which is very impressive. And I believe in less than 6 months. So over the last 7 years, Kamara has been head admin to many online communities and has developed her strategy for building an online community. Today, we are going to discuss how she came into her success, her tips for growing an online travel community, and how we can work with her to ensure that we all have success. Okay, so this event is designed to be interactive. So we would love for you to ask questions. I have questions lined up to get us started, but please feel free to pop some questions into the chat so that we can hear from you as well. All right, let's get started. You ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Tell us, how did you start growing online communities and what drew you into this direction?
So, lack of a safe space would probably be like the number one reason. Um, Let me dive into that thought a little bit. So, my first online community was a military wives page for younger spouses between the ages of 18 and 29. And the reason why that group came about is because we were all in a bigger group for that specific military base. And the older wives who were 30 plus were bullies a lot of the time to the younger wives, and especially for wanting to do things that young people do, like go party and, just kind of younger people stuff. So I decided to just create my own Facebook group out of pure frustration and wanting to make friends. I created the group. And when I did, I posted the link to the group inside the bigger group and just invited all the galleys that were close to my age. At the time, I was 18, to just come join this group. And they did. And it went up to like 1,000 members in less than 6 months, which at the time, back in 2014, 2015, when I was doing this, that was a lot. That was like really fast to get 1,000 members. So it bred its own success. So that's kind of what led me in that direction, was without having a safe space.
Mm-hmm. And that really sounds purpose driven. So
Yeah.
when it comes to creating a group, would you recommend for travel and lifestyle content creators that it have a purpose? And do you recommend that that purpose be aligned with their brand?
Yes, absolutely. So without a purpose or a why story, and we'll get more into content a little later, without a purpose, no one's going to pay attention. I'm just saying that no one is going to pay attention to you if you don't have a purpose behind what you're doing.
Okay. So what led you to becoming a travel and lifestyle content creator?
So that's interesting. So I spent a whole lot of years, fast forward from 18 to, I want to say, how am I? I'm 26, so 24. And I recently made a new Facebook page. So I had one before and it was good all the way until 2019. Then someone hacked it. I had it reported. And then for about 2 years or so, I could not have my own personal Facebook page. Because anytime I made a new Facebook page, Facebook would then immediately ban and remove the page. So I just kind of waited a while. Then I recently started one in 2021. So my current page is only 2 years old. And I did that because I had moved like probably 2 weeks beforehand. I had moved into Dallas, the DFW. And so, and then again, here I was in this new area with no friends. So I went to what I know, which is Facebook. Let's go make friends on Facebook. Let's go start a community. And then I'm going to have some friends because I've literally done that so many times. Majority of my successful groups are because I wanted to have friends. I'm not even going to lie. So, when I did that, I started adding a bunch of people to my Facebook page, and there was this one Black woman who is a travel agent, not was, and she was posting her travels, and she was posting all these super like nice pictures in different areas, and I'm talking like she's doing like Santorini type pictures with throwing the dress in the air and stuff like that. But she was in Mexico, and she was blogging about, you know, her time in Mexico and how she'd been there for 3 months and that she was going to spend 3 months in a different city. And to me, it was very inspiring as a person who was already traveling a lot. And I travel by moving. Majority of the places I've been, I've like just picked up my life and moved there. So, so it was very inspiring to me that she was like spending 3 months wherever she wanted, just because, you know, she was like a leader in the travel industry. And so I followed her content for some time, and she was my original inspiration to become a travel agent. I did not end up signing up with her over some other things that we won't talk about. However, after I signed up, I kind of just like dived headfirst into reproducing what I saw this woman do, which is post a lot of content in a different, you know, place. So I myself moved to Mexico. But I moved here more of a permanent status. And then I just kind of started posting content and stuff about me being in Mexico. So yeah, that's kind of just kind of went from there.
What do you think made your current online community, Travel with Love Club, successful?
So back to me just suddenly showing pictures and stuff of living in Mexico and the great time that I was having, and, you know, writing posts and sharing my story. People who hadn't seen me on Facebook for a few years were suddenly seeing me on Facebook again. And now I live in a different country. So they kind of like tuned in, like, what is she doing? What's going on? Some of them think I'm crazy because they know Tijuana to be dangerous. So now they're really watching because they're like waiting for something bad to happen to me. Some of them are just genuinely intrigued. Some people I have inspired to actually move down here. I've helped at least 3 people move here. So because of that, I spent my early months before even opening my agency fully. I was still training to be an agent. And before opening Traveling with Love Club, at the time, the group at its creation was called Let's Travel the World Together. So before doing all that, I just kind of spent time exposing myself to people who were already familiar to who I was, but hadn't seen me in a long time. And then the thing that really sparked the most growth was I delivered something that no one else had delivered before on the scale that I did. So I compiled a list of about 33 bucket lists in different states and cities around America, just to kind of like have something fun posted in the group space. And then I went through and shared that one post at least 30 times into different travel communities. And my post was accepted into their communities because it wasn't like it was an advertising post or anything. It was just like, hey, look at these bucket lists that I found for these places. And so my group is public, so it has a share button. So I put the content into the group and then shared it into 30 other groups. And then from there, people saw it, and then the shares and shares and shares, and it kept sharing. And sharing is kind of like word of mouth marketing. So because it had such an increase in shares, at least 50% of people who shared it pressed the join button because they wanted to see what more this community had to offer to them. I also created a space that bridged together consumers with other travel and lifestyle content creators / agents / business owners together. So now people have the ability, because of the way that my group is set up, to market their products once a week on Tuesday for free. And so all of the travel agents and everybody kind of ran over to my group too, because they're like, finally a group where we can share our travels, because a lot of groups do not allow you to do that. So having a combination with incentivizing consumers with delivering an amazing piece of content, and then also incentivizing business owners with giving them ability to do something and do so for free, it kind of really bridged the success of the community.
Okay, so in your Travel with Love community, you had both travel consumers and travel businesses.
Yes.
Okay, good. Can you talk to us about the 10 components of growing an online community? I know you and I had talked about that before, and that's kind of the meat of what we're going to get into today, part of it. So can you talk to us about those 10 components?
Yes. So before we get to the components specifically, these 10 components are part of my masterclass. The masterclass is focused on building a Facebook community, but however, these 10 components can cross bridges to other platforms because the components themselves are necessary in order for you to be successful online in general. The class itself is catered to Facebook because that's where I had my success at, my biggest success. However, the components, they cross over, shall I say. So the first, we're kind of going to actually go through 11, but I'll get to that in a second. So the first one is the little extra one, and it's believe that you can. So if you don't believe that you can do it, you're wasting everybody's time. You're wasting your own time. You're wasting your viewership's time. You're just wasting time. Without belief in yourself, nothing will happen, literally, because you won't wake up in the morning and pursue for it to happen. So that's number one. Number two, after that, is content. So I talked about how this amazing piece of content was shared a bunch of times, and then it grew my community. So because I had delivered content and did so in a way that others didn't understand that I was marketing my group, it sparked the success. So you need to make sure you understand the difference between advertising, branding, and marketing, because those three are very similar, but they have extreme differences. And then also put yourself and think about yourself as a business. And the reason why I say that, if you're an influencer, you're a business. If you're just a creator, you're a business. If you are a business person, you're a business. And the reason I say that is because you are doing this and putting your purpose and your all into this because you expect monetary return in some form of way, whether it's an influencer petitioning the business or like gifted or paid promotions, or a travel lifestyle content creator trying to find sponsors so that they can continue to create content, or a business owner directly selling merch, their own travel merch, to their community. You are a business. And if you don't think about it that way, you will not actually grow because you won't take the time to learn how to market your content. You'll just be pushing out content and no one will see it. Okay, so and the masterclass does dive very deep into that. It's probably the most important component of all the components, content. Okay.
Honestly, I wanted to say, I'll let you finish, and then I wanted to say something.
Oh, okay. honestly, I was just gonna say you guys wouldn't be on this live, nor would you be in travel, in business, the what is it called? Your group, the travel lifestyle content creation group. You guys would not even be in the group if you weren't interested in content and knowing how to create your content better, what tips are needed to grow your community, essentially.
I like how you mentioned trust yourself as that, as well, believing in yourself as the first
Yeah.
aspect of getting started as a creator, as a business, because it really is the stepping stone to every, like, it's the foundation. We have to believe in our idea. Even for me personally, just getting started. Yeah, I believed in my idea, but I was still also very nervous. Like, is it a good idea? People understand what my idea is. Am I communicating it well enough so that people actually get it? And it was one of those things where I just had to get over myself, and I didn't do it by myself, because even for like my husband, for example, he's always like, trust yourself. You have to trust yourself, So I also got affirmation cards to help really boost up my own self-esteem, because here I am putting myself out there. I've created this idea that is just kind of from my own experience, same as you. But do people understand what I'm doing? Is it effective? Those are some of the things that I have to deal with, that I still deal with as I push forward and try to grow this business into a successful, financially thriving business, and also something that can keep me going in the future. So I think that's really, really important, is and trust.
Yeah. I'm happy you said that, and we can like dive a little bit deeper back in that direction for like a second. The belief is necessary because, like I said, if not, you're just wasting everybody's time. But really, without that core knowledge that you can do it, there will always be this imposter telling you that you can't. Like, how we probably all seen the movies Cusco's New Groove or something. We were kids on Disney, and how there was like a angel Cusco and a devil Cusco, and like that's been kind of like a theme in Hollywood, where there's like an angel on one shoulder and a devil on another shoulder. If you are listening to the devil, then I'm sorry, I don't know why you're here. But if you're listening to the devil, you are not going to get where it is that you need to go. And I don't mean to make this religious, because it's not. I'm just saying, if you're listening to that imposter, it will stall you and you'll never make your goal. If you're listening to the affirming side of you that knows within you that this is your core, and to answer your question about purpose, without knowing at your core that this is necessary, you cannot move forward. So you have to believe in your purpose in order to grow.
Okay. Good. So, okay, keep telling us about the components.
Alrighty. So the next component, I think this is component 3. We did 2 already. Yeah. Consistency. So I am the embodiment of good consistency. I am the embodiment of bad consistency. And I would not teach this if I wasn't freaking sucky at it, and then good at it, and then sucky at it, and then good at it. Okay. So what I mean by consistency, you guys have probably heard this a million other ways in different content pieces and other coaches and stuff that you follow. Consistency, they stress it because it's important. You need to create a schedule for when you are going to be releasing your content, so that your audience is aware of and knows when to look for your next piece of content, especially your believers. Now, your believers believe in you more than you believe in, because they don't know anything bad about you. All they know is all the good that you present to them and the expertise that you give, okay? So they want to know, when is your next piece of content coming out? They are looking to, you're their expert. They're looking for you. So be consistent, because even if right now it seems like no one's paying attention, that's because they want to see you be consistent and know that you really are the expert in this. Then they pay a lot more attention, because they're like, okay, this person's been talking about this forever and I haven't been listening. What is she talking about? Because clearly it's working, right? Like, clearly. I've also been the embodiment of terrible consistency. I have success on Facebook with 100K following, and I have 1,000 something on IG, and less than 1,000 on TikTok because I was not consistent with those apps. I wasn't a consistent consumer on those apps, so I wasn't always downloading content creation. When I first started, I didn't really understand reels. Like I just watched my oldest reels a few weeks ago, and I was like, these suck. They were like glorified slideshows. Like they were so terrible. But it's because I didn't put in the time and energy to learn those apps in order to grow on those apps. So be consistent with you being a consumer on the same apps that you are also utilizing to be the expert on. If you don't know the app well, then you're not going to succeed. And then stay consistent. Now that I've decided to do a 30-day consistency challenge, and you guys can join me if you want to. I think I'm on day like 10 though already, but I'm consistently posting at least one new piece of content per day on Instagram and TikTok in an effort to grow larger community on those app platforms. And what I will say, I am now getting at least one new follower every day, when before it would be like one every so often because I wasn't working on it. So, and one may not sound like enough, but I'm going to stress this. During the beginning of your consistency phase, it's going to feel like you are shouting at the air and shouting to the mountains and no one's listening, but you have to keep going. Slow growth is still growth, okay? If one person is looking for your content, keep pushing your content. It doesn't matter how long it takes for you to get to 10 people. What matters is that you're over delivering to that person, because then they're going to be your strongest believer, your biggest fan, and they're going to scream for the mountaintop. Like fans are crazy. They love their idol. Okay. They will literally scream for you. They will definitely try to represent for you. So just stay consistent. Number 4, I think we're on market research. So it is very important that you do your market research. And I kind of spoke on this a little bit with consistency. So I will say this little sidebar. A lot of these components work hand in hand with each other. And that is why this wheel of information works, because you can't do one without successfully doing the other. We can focus on how to make sure you're doing this component in conjunction with another one, but you need to be able to hit all 10 in order to grow a successful community. Okay, so with market research, again, use your apps. Use your apps, be consumers on your apps. Realize that you are also a follower, not just a leader. Be that follower, whoever it is that impresses you, see what it is that they're doing, and see how you can implement something similar into your own platform. Do not copy them, because it's going to be inauthentic. Be yourself while doing so, but make sure that you research around on your apps to see what others are doing. Also, if you are a business owner in the chat looking to use content to monetize for your business, make sure you're also market researching within your industry. And that goes from the influencer industry to just regular old creators who are trying to get sponsors to business owners. Market research within your industry to understand how it works. If you don't understand how it works, you will never get to the end goal. Like, you just have to have that understanding. So never stop market researching, never stop learning more, never stop waking up every day to better yourself. And that really leads us right into our next topic, which is charisma and leadership. So you have to be a leader and you have to have charisma. You cannot be just any old person and expect a whole bunch of people to follow you. Now, unfortunately, this is the analogy that comes right at the top of my head. But you know how Jesus got them 12 disciples and they walked and roamed the whole earth? That's all you really need, is a few people who believe in you to the point that will follow you to the ends of the earth. But in order for you to gain that type of follower, you have to be a leader. So remember, during the market research phase, we talked about how you are a follower, consume your content. Yes, consume your content, but you're doing that on purpose to
Kamara, are you there? I hope we didn't lose her. Let me just see 1 second. Because this was getting good. It looks like we did.
Okay, am I back?
We're back. Okay, perfect. I was just about to message you like, no, it was getting good.
It was. I feel like you can do everything right, and then technology will be like, give you the biggest F you, you know? So before I get too much into the charisma leadership part, I did see a few questions, and or maybe it was just one. Oh, I don't even see them anymore because it kicked me out. Great. I wanted to like answer questions a little bit in real time since it's
I do. I'll ask the question to you. So Jasmine asked, and Jasmine, she has her own brand. She's a travel and lifestyle content creator. Her brand is called the Jazzy Nation. She asked,
do
you feel like Facebook pages, groups are the way to go when building a community? What's your opinion on Patreon or other similar platforms for building an online community? This is a great question.
This is an amazing question. So I am well versed in Facebook groups. I am definitely going to endorse Facebook groups. And like I said, my masterclass teaches Facebook groups. I will not comment on the effectiveness of Patreon because I am not a user of that app. I don't know how to work it. I can say that with these components, should you apply them on that app, is it like a social media or is it just like a meetup chat?
I think it's where you can get exclusive content. So, for example, I've seen a lot of YouTubers use Patreon where they have free content on YouTube, and then they'll share they'll share private exclusive content on their Patreon.
Absolutely. Okay. So yes, with knowing that the YouTube is your lead magnet and then the Patreon is basically your masterclass. Yes. So I would say use both. You can use Facebook and your online community there. You don't have to make your own Facebook group, but just make sure you have like some sort of following on your Facebook or your YouTube or whatever, and take your community there and funnel them into your Patreon community. And that is where you unleash all the paid for content. Like I'm going through these 10 components, but I'm not giving you guys all the sauce. That would be purposeless for me as I sell this as a master class, and it's an 8-week class. It's not just a 1 hour and something class. So I would say that, what was her original question again? Can you raise me?
The first question was, do you think Facebook pages are the way to go when building a community? That's the first question. Then I'll go to the second.
I think so. I will say this, try your hand at both. If you want to try a Facebook community and you don't know how, you can always see me and we can talk, chat it up. Pay close attention in this live to what the things that I'm saying, and make sure that you're implementing them into your strategy. And yeah, whatever you prefer. The information that I'm giving, like I said, it crosses platforms. I'm using it now for TikTok and Instagram, and I'm showing success. I'm in 10 days in for a 30-day consistency challenge and getting 1 new follower a day on 2 different platforms, which shows you that it's working. It might not be sparking 100K in less than 6 months like my biggest platform, but again, that goes back to market research and knowing the platform itself and how to use it. So if you know how to use Patreon very well, and you are a person that's already on there and you're like a user or consumer for someone else's content, and you see the things that can be done and the tools that can be used, definitely go for it. And let me know how it works for you. Okay. So what's the next question?
Yeah, I wanted to add that's kind of my thought process when I was thinking about expanding the business and travel club, because we started as a Facebook Messenger group. And my thought process was, I want this to be as convenient as possible for people. And so I know Messenger, you can get the app on your phone and we can text back and forth. And that's what it was for me. It was like, how can I make this most convenient? And then when you and I first met and we were talking about Facebook groups, I'm like, I don't know I want to do a Facebook group. But the thing is, I'm a part of Facebook groups, and that's how I've connected and met with so many people. And when I thought, like, finally got over myself, because I was afraid to start the Facebook group, honestly. But when I finally got over that, like, you know what, this is still me testing my idea. Does this work? Is this effective for other travel and lifestyle content creators? So let me create this Facebook group, because I know that I'm a part of Facebook groups, and I know many people still use Facebook as a platform to communicate and be social. And it's one of those platforms, again, that to me is convenient because people are already on the platform. So that was kind of my thought process when I thought about where to build my community. Now, I could go and start a Mighty Networks community. I could start a hijabi community, a Patreon community, all these other communities. But initially, it was like, okay, let me just get started with like low barrier entry, just so I can test this idea and see if it works and see if people actually even join. Okay, so the second.
I will say this. Wait, before you ask the second question, that imposter syndrome, kind of where you didn't want to start a Facebook group, understand that before I started my most successful group, I went through that same thing. I did not want to deal with the stress of starting another Facebook community. I had trauma associated to the last community that I started. It was stolen from me. And then I just didn't want to deal with it. And I didn't want to be in competition with the other 100 million travel groups that are on Facebook. There's already a creation. But what I can say is when you have your own lane, it's going to work. So it doesn't matter how many other accountability clubs there are. It doesn't matter how many other travel clubs there are. It doesn't matter how many other deal clubs there are on Facebook. As long as you have your own charisma, leadership, your own blueprint to it, it will work. It will be successful. And that's all the communities. I think, and commend you, I think it's smart that you started your Facebook community first, because when it comes to Mighty Networks and all these other community platforms like LinkedIn and stuff like that, you can always use your Facebook group as a lead magnet and pay for, like, have the other ones for pay, if that makes sense, where it's subscription based. And then people are allowed to then access this private network of information sharing.
The next question Jasmine asked, what's your opinion on Patreon and other similar platforms for building online community?
So personally, like I said, I never used Patreon. I never heard of it before today. So I have said my things on that. LinkedIn, I have seen it be successful for people. I myself haven't started playing with LinkedIn just yet. I really stick to what, in my mind, I call the big three, which are Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. I haven't even bridged over into YouTube just yet, just because I want, when I'm starting these other platforms, that I have these big three in place so that it's like a ripple effect when I open the next one. So think about how if Rihanna was to create a Patreon platform right now, there would be about 1 million people trying to be on the platform within the next hour. It would be freaking breaking news on Twitter, and it would go viral, and she would have so much money coming in. So what I will say, my opinion is, pick a few that you're very good at and pay close attention to them and build real communities on those few. Don't struggle with too many different communities. Okay. Don't try to juggle too many at one time, because then you will end up stressing yourself out into then trying to like deal with 7 different platforms at the same time. So pick a good 2 or 3 that you're really, really good at, build those platform communities up. And then when you're going to open up your next platform, make sure that you're advertising it on to your current community, so that it's like a ripple effect. People just join because they love you, they love your brand, and they want to see what's coming up next. Any more questions?
No, not yet. Those are really great questions. So
yeah. Okay. Alrighty. So the next segment was the charisma leadership. So I did talk about how you need to be a leader in order to grow a successful online community. So you cannot grow community if you cannot lead community. I'm gonna say that again. You cannot grow community if you cannot lead community. Whoever your favorite content creators are, lead you. You can't tell me they don't because you follow them, literally. You press the follow, subscribe, friend, whatever button it is on the platform, you pressed on it, and now you're in consistent contact with their content. So just remember that you are also the person or consumer that you are trying to reach out to. Lead them, since you are in their same boat and you know what it feels like to be a follower, to consume content, to love content, to work on how you're going to make yours better so that it can look more comparable to whoever your favorite creator is. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, make sure you're leading your followers to do the same. So like, you don't necessarily have to be teaching other influencers how to be an influencer. However, as an influencer, you're leading your followers to go buy the products that you are displaying with your user generated content. And because you're using the piece of product or whatever, they are thinking you're the expert, going to go buy it. So you have to be a leader in that respect. They have to relate to you, which is where charisma comes in. So they have to see themselves in you. If you're a funny person and they find you extremely funny, they're going to follow you because you're funny. Like, I could probably tell you when I was first watching makeup influencers, which was my original dream goal, was to be a makeup influencer, not a travel and lifestyle content creator. But we see how life goes. But anyways, a lot of them were just funny. Like, they would do these story times and be putting their makeup on, and the tea would be like so lovely to drink, nice and sweet. And that is what they delivered to the audience. So you don't necessarily have to be teaching or being an educator, but you do have to deliver something that they can relate to. If you're not doing that, then they're never going to pay attention to you. Okay. The next little part is community. So I know we're talking a lot about how to build a community. Why would community be a component of building a community? Makes no sense, but it makes all the sense. So in this portion, I stress unity, because that is the last part of the word community. We're coming together in unity. That's what a community is. If you cannot create unity within your community, you don't have a community. You can't even spell the word without the word unity. That's how serious it is to have unity within your community. Everybody in the community doesn't have to be the exact same person. That's not what I mean by unity. But having a group of like-minded individuals who are coming together to achieve a goal is a community. Doesn't matter if you're in the Black community, if you're in the gay community, if you're in the travel lifestyle content communities, if you're in the makeup communities, if you're in the build with your hands, I'm a trade person, different communities. I can't think like guys do, but you're in a community because you think kind of like these other people and you guys agree on a certain level, and that makes you guys relate to each one of another. Okay, so definitely make sure you have unity in your communities. The next one is expectations and clarity. So that ties back into consistency. It ties back into leadership. It ties back into unity. You have to have set expectations for your community. For one, consistency. They need to know when you're going to show up, and they have to trust that you're going to show up when you say that you're going to show up. If not, you're going to say that you're going to show up and no one else is going to show up because they don't believe you, because you haven't been keeping your word. Leadership. So keep your word. Also, you need to have their expectations of your community. So there's all different sorts of communities. Personally, on my communities, I don't allow people to bully Black persons or LGBTQ persons. I don't stand for it as a person who is Black and in the LGBTQ. I will make sure all of my spaces are always safe for other people who are like me. My purpose has a lot to do with who I am. And because I love myself and I believe in myself, I'm going to push myself and I'm going to push others who are like me to achieve the things that they want to achieve. So make sure you have expectations of your community and that your community has expectations of you and that you're clear about it. Clarity matters, because if they don't understand the expectation, they're going to keep breaking the rule. So you have to be very clear. Also, clarity helps you with direction for creating your content. If you don't have clarity and a purpose that you're like hinging back to, then you will not be able to create new content and move forward. You'll be in like a little content freeze, kind of stuck for a while because you don't have a purpose and you're not making that purpose clear. Okay, so make sure you have expectations and clarity.
That's really good.
The next piece.
That actually reminds me of the market research part, because when I first started this in travel, I was researching travel marketing because travel content creation is travel marketing, is travel media. Mm-hmm. So I was researching all of this information about travel marketing, and that gave me a direction in terms of what type of content I should be creating. And so you mentioned you're doing a 30-day challenge. I did this 60-day challenge of posting consistently every single day on Instagram. And I utilized market research, which was travel marketing was my subject, to help me produce this content. And that really gave me clarity. And so I like how all of these components do actually affect one another.
Yes, yeah. Like I said earlier, you cannot leave one out. It won't work. if we're trying to breed success, so you have to do all the things at the same time. And when you get in the groove, you'll realize it's a lot easier than it sounds. It sounds like a whole lot of information that I'm shouting at you right now, but it's a lot easier. Like with business and travel, when you started posting every day after doing your market research and you started seeing your success with the growth and everything, it's because you were in your own way embodying different parts of these 10 components. You were being a leader, you were showing up consistently, you were delivering good content, you had charisma, so people identify with you. You say, hello world. I know that when I practice this before we hop on camera, I said, hello world, because I know that's how you say it. You branded yourself with your content, okay? And you do the same thing every time. I don't even watch your videos all the time. That's how well I know your hello world. So you embodied a little bit of everything, and that's why it has been and seen the success it has seen to this point. So just continue, like literally continue. And if you guys realize while listening that one part reminds you of another, comment that in the chat box. Let me know. I like the feedback. I really love feedback. I love when you have questions. I love when you have comments. I love when you come to brilliant realizations yourself. And share them. Those who will be on the YouTube version of this, please, in the comment section, share your thoughts while you're watching the live. And we will respond to you in the comment section. That actually in itself, what I'm asking you to do is another component, and I'll get to it later. So the next component is fun. People like to have fun. They work all day, 9 to 5, 10 to 6, 11 to 3, sometimes 10 to 2 p.m. They work their lives away. When people are clocked out of the work, they have responsibilities, children, church organizations, different community things that they're doing within their community, if they're community organizers. Like, they have a set list of responsibilities. So when it comes down to being on these apps, majority of people are mindlessly scrolling, okay? Majority. They want it to be a fun experience. They want to be entertained. They want to be distracted away from the responsibility that they have, because living this life is literally stressful and it's a huge responsibility, especially when you got to trade your time for money, when time is more valuable than money. But that's a whole other sermon that I have for people. So make sure whatever you're doing with your content, that it's as fun as it is informative. And that's back to, like I said, my original dream of influencing was makeup. And it's because the influencers I followed were delivering tea. It was fun for me to be hearing all these dramatic stories at the time. I don't listen to them anymore. But at the time, that's what I wanted. And that's what I followed them for. So make sure that you're consistently delivering the same type of fun to your followers. Be fun. Another thing I want to say about fun is incentivizing incentives. So this is some sauce and some extra gem that I wasn't even gonna give you guys, but I'm just gonna go ahead and give it to you.
Thank you.
Incentivize your following. They think that it's fun. People love the word free. Just like I'm giving you this gem for free. People love the word free. And I'm going to explain to you what I'm doing right now as I'm doing it, and then you apply it to what it is that you're doing. So if I give you this free gem of incentivize your clientele, make sure you give them something free so that they show up the next time. Guess what? They will show up the next time. We are definitely going to do that today. And I promise you the next time I do a live, you might just show up in the event that I might do the same thing over again and give something away for free. So understand that when you walk into a restaurant and they do that little extra thing, like give you a breath mint, because the other restaurants don't do that, and you remember and appreciate that, they gave you something that cost them less than 10 cents for free, and it made you smile. Okay. Same with the restaurants that give you the little packets with the things to clean your hands afterwards. Same with when you are flying on Delta and they give you that soda because you can't bring your water and stuff into the airport. These are things that then we come to expect these things to be free, right? And then becomes a standard, right? So when your free becomes a standard, it literally makes people excited to tell other people about what it is that you're doing. So make it fun, give freebies. Alrighty, so the next component, I don't even know what number we're on anymore, but you know what? I think we're in a good rhythm. Safety. So what led me in this direction 7 years ago when I first started Facebook groups, and actually I'm 26, so it's older than 7 years because it was at 18, but whatever, y'all do the math. I don't feel like doing it right now. Safety was my number one goal. It was to create a space that was safe for people who were like me. Mm-hmm. That is what you're doing with this community. There will be no unity if no one feels safe. Okay. So when you're creating unity, make sure that your community is safe for these people who are members of it. If it's not safe for them, then they will leave or they will cause havoc and problems within the community until they feel safe or until they leave the community. Either or that happens. So make sure that your group is a safe space and that people can trust you and trust within the group. Okay. The next one is leverage the tools. So this is kind of back to what Jasmine was asking earlier, and I hope she was able to hop back on. I see that the Zoom keeps kind of kicking her out, and then she keeps coming back. So I hope she's here for this. Jasmine, if you're here, please drop a heart in the chat and let me know that you're here. If not, I'm still gonna keep it grooving. But leverage the tools. This is the next part. So for this specifically in my masterclass, the tools listed are for Facebook. However, this goes with any platform that you use. And this also ties into market research. You need to know what tools that your platform gives to you as a creator and use them. You need to utilize these tools. You don't necessarily have to utilize every tool 100% of the time, but you have to figure out which tools work best for you and your style and then utilize them. The apps normally, reward. That's the word I'm looking for. The apps normally reward you for utilizing the tools that they're creating because the app creators want to see that these tools that they are creating are being used. Mm-hmm. So they like to see you use it. And when you use that feature, then they push your content a little bit more because now look who's using the new feature and you guys still haven't started using it. What? So use the feature, try it out, play, have fun, literally back to fun, have fun with the tools, play with them. You don't have to necessarily like go hard and publish the piece of content as soon as the tool releases, but you can still, play with it, test how your rhythm goes with using this tool and use it. Use tools that are not inside of the platform like CapCut and Video Leap and any other video editor tools that you guys are out there using, iMovies and Illuminate, and all of the tools, Adobe, use them. Use them, use them, use them. We are creating content. Without tools, you won't have content. Use Canva. Use everything to your advantage. Find all the fonts and download them to your computer. Make sure you go buy a hard drive on Amazon and back up your content so that you don't ever have the heartbreak of waking up and things are not working and you don't have a backup. Make sure you're doing that as well, and literally use all of these tools. So that is my levers of tools. Engagement. So earlier when I was saying, please talk to me, please, I've been saying this whole time, drop in the chat your thoughts, drop in the chat your questions, anything. Engage with me. That's all I'm saying. Engage. That's the next one. Engagements. Make sure that you are getting engagements. Engagement is something that takes time to build. Understand, when you're first starting out in your community and you're being super consistent, but your engagement is low, do not give up. I'm going to tell you, in the business and travel community club I have visited, and Shanay posts like 6 to 10 times a day in there, and y'all answer on like maybe 3 out of the 6 to 10 pieces of content that she drops on there, or maybe there's like 1 answer on one and 2 answers on another. So like right now it seems like there's not a lot going on. However, for her to only have 19 members in her group, that's pretty high engagement for the amount of people that are in the group. Now say if she had 100,000 members in her group and posts were only getting 2 comments and some of them never got liked, then we would have a little bit of a disengagement. Your audience is not engaging with you, so now we have to see what's wrong. Is it the content? Are you being a leader? And then we have to look at the other 10 components. So engagement is the most important component, but it does take time. Give yourself grace while you're building up engagement, because once you have engagement, it means you have a community present. It means you have people who see the vision and are commenting and agreeing with the vision. Then you have people who you're turning into fans. You're turning into people who's like, hey, yo, so I've been following this person for a year now, and she's taught me this, that, and the third. And I think this would really help you since you're getting started out. So make sure you can, whatever, you're hitting every other thing before this so that you can get engagement. I think engagements might be the last topic. It is the last topic, and that's because it's the hardest one. You have to hit, like I said, every other component in order to get engagement. So congrats for those of you who do have communities that engage with you, even if it's just 1 or 2 people. You are on the right track. Just take this whole download of 30 minutes of me talking at you and really like take notes and review what areas you might be lacking in and what areas you can work on a little bit more in order to keep your engagement consistent, to grow your engagement, and to grow your following.
I love this.
Okay, now I'm talking forever.
No, I love that you mentioned engagement, especially pertaining to the business and travel club, because it does excite me when I see like, oh, okay, every Monday I post what are your weekly goals, and then we have like 2-3 people comment, and it's like, okay, I'm not the only one that has goals this week, yay. It's really exciting for me to have those conversations, and then to keep that engagement going. What I'll do is ask questions and say, like, I'll actually read what people are writing and then ask questions just to bring out more conversation from people. And what I've noticed is people they like to have that Q&A, that question and response. They like to know that they're being paid attention to, and then I'm not just dropping this stuff here and then going off and doing something else. I'm actually reading it, talking to people, sharing resources, and then also to get people to engage with me in our monthly meetings. That's something that I've noticed has grown too. And so it's very exciting. I'm excited to have more people interested in what we're doing. And it's not for me, myself, it's for them, because the whole purpose of the Business and Travel Club is for people to grow their brand as a business, as a travel and lifestyle content creator, to monetize being a travel content creator, because it's something they personally love doing, and travel storytelling can help them continue to do that. So I'm excited for the engagement.
I'm excited right along with you. The fact that, like I told you, you've been doing so well on your own in itself, you have embodied every component that I spoke about today. And I'm pretty sure with me speaking, you could think of a few different ways where you embodied that and continue to embody that. What I will say is your addition to what I said about engagement, which is engage back with your followers, is extremely important. I'm telling you, if Rihanna were to comment on back to you, you would be on a high for like a week at least. You feel me? Like, oh my God, I commented to Rihanna and she called it back to me.
Right.
What? Like, okay, so that little bit of joy goes,
everybody.
yes. Yes, that little bit of joy goes a long way. It's kind of like I said with freebies, that peppermint that they give you at those nice restaurants that where they get to now charge you 150 for a steak. It goes a long way because then you look at Applebee's and be like, y'all ain't out here getting peppermints. Like it just gives a different, more luxurious experience. So yes, engage back. Not all creators engage back with their following, and some have huge amounts of following. But in the beginning stages, it's likely that they were directly engaging with their following. It's just after a certain point, you can't talk to everybody.
This is true. It's true. All right. Kamara and I have something very special that we want to share with everyone that has watched this live and watching this live via YouTube. And so I'm excited because when she presented the idea to me to do this, I was like, oh, that would be perfect. So we're going to do a travel giveaway. We're going to give you a free hotel stay in a place of your choice. And there are 3 destinations that you can choose from. You can choose San Diego, California, Miami, Florida, or Orlando, Florida. But in order to win this free hotel stay at one of these destinations, there are a couple rules you have to follow. So let's see what those are. All right. So the first rule to enter this contest for free hotel stay at one of these 3 destinations is that you have to like and follow Kamara Love and Travel with Love on all social accounts. On Instagram and TikTok, she is on Kamara Travel with Love. Facebook, Travel with Love is her business page. And then her personal page is Kamara Antoinette Love. You can also join her email list. That's the second criteria, is to join her email list. And the link is listed here. I will also link the links, all of the links, into the description box of this video so that you can have easy access to them. The third rule to qualify for this free trip is to refer at least one other travel and lifestyle content creator or an aspiring creator who is interested in becoming a travel and lifestyle content creator to the Business and Travel Accountability Club. And the Business and Travel Accountability Club can be found, access to it is through my website, www.businessandtravel.co. You also have to be a member of the Business and Travel Accountability Club yourself, which can be found on my website. And you can join the Business and Travel email list, which is also on my website, www.businessandtravel.co. Once you've done all of these things, then comment done on this live and to let us know that you've satisfied all of these rules.
Yay. So I did want to add in here that I would be embodying what it is I'm teaching. So yes, I'm giving you guys a free hotel stay for participating with us, for commenting, for engaging with us, for learning from us. I would like to reward you because who doesn't want to do things that they're rewarded for? So definitely satisfy all 5 rules, 6 rules, and comment done when you're completed. That way your entry can go in. We will be raffling this off in about 2 weeks and letting people know who the winner is. I'm excited to work with the winner. I will definitely put this little disclaimer as a fine print. Okay, the winner has to pay their taxes and fees. I'm kidding. The winner does have to pay taxes and fees on their hotel stay. However, your vouchers covered like the entire cost, the base rate cost of the room. So I'm paying the base rate, and then you're paying the taxes and fees. And then you would have up to 18 months to use your voucher. So it is going to be coming to you as a travel voucher. I will be distributing the voucher to you. And then after you activate the voucher by paying your taxes and fees, you will then go ahead and be able to book your stay at your leisure. Like I said, it will be for 18 months that it's valid. The taxes and fees are not paid to me nor my agency. I don't make any commission on this whatsoever. This is actually something that I pay a different agency $80 a month to be able to do, to give to other people. So don't worry, you guys are not paying me for anything. You are only paying the taxes and fees to the agency that is distributing the voucher, okay? So what, anything else with that?
Contest start period.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So the start period would be today. Okay. And go ahead, add your creator friends to the group. You know, it would be nice if you have a conversation with them about it first. Let them know what's going on. Let them know that we're doing this giveaway, that they have the ability to earn a free hotel stay to one of these 3 fabulous places, 2 places in Florida and 1 place in California. And then invite them to the group. And in doing so, they have the opportunity to see the giveaway. And if they want to participate in the giveaway, they can do their 6 steps and, you know, keep inviting and inviting. And this is one huge tip that I am giving you guys for free, along with giving you the free stay, is that freebies work, because these are lead finders for us. So people are, as long as you guys keep adding people to the community, the business and travel community grows, and therefore we can give back because of the growth. So think about that when you are creating your own communities. How can you give back to your community and incentivize them to help spark growth? So the ending date would be April 5th. So 2 weeks from today. We start today, we end in 2 weeks on April 5th, and we will draw a winner.
Mm-hmm. So good luck to everyone. Thank you all for participating today. I am extremely appreciative of your support, and both of us are here to support you in whichever ways we can. So please feel free to ask us questions. If you have questions about how to apply one of these rules so that you can participate in the giveaway, let us know in the comments, and we'll be happy to help you. I would like to give a special thank you to Kamara for joining us today and just sharing so much knowledge and insight with us on building communities. This is like just scratching the surface of building communities. As you could tell, she has so much knowledge on this subject. So I'm excited that she was open to joining me today and sharing her knowledge. Thank you so much. Is there any last words you would like to say to our viewers?
Yes. So for those of you who were paying attention and you were being a student and you're soaking up all the gems, but you want to know how to find the masterclass, you can find it on my website. I will be sending a copy of the link to Shanay so she can post it to the YouTube. And then I will be dropping it in the business and travel content community, the link to the class itself. I will say there has to be a minimum of 5 signups in order for me to run the class. However, if you want to take the class, you absolutely can sign up to take the class. It's only $425. I could be selling this class for $5,000, like I see every other content creation master class. Pay $1,000 here, $1,000 there. I could sell this class for so much more, especially with it being an 8-week course. It's not a 1-hour master class. But I'm only going to sell it for $425 because I want it to be affordable for those who don't necessarily have the income to go ahead and pay thousands of dollars, but also has the income to invest in their brand and in themselves, and who believes that this investment will work for them. So yeah, I'll link the comment down below for that, and then you can reach out to me. Obviously, to enter a giveaway, you are going to be following me and my content, so you can reach out to me via my platforms and ask me how, if you don't remember how to join the masterclass, or just ask me about community in general. Just talk to me. I like when people talk to me. I love talking. I talk a little bit too much. So yeah, don't be afraid to reach out to me.
Okay, thank you all so much. And I look forward to chatting with you in the Business and Travel Club. And until next time, bye.
Bye.